And the Democrat-aligned Future Forward Political Action Committee is gearing up for a massive television and digital ad blitz aimed to boost President Biden ahead of the 2024 election. Here's One America's chief White House correspondent, Monica Page, with more.
$250 million is the latest historic big money operation aimed to control the narrative to help Biden's re-election in 2024. The George Soros-bankrolled Future Forward PAC is set to distribute television and digital ads specifically targeting key swing states and influence how people choose to vote this upcoming election cycle. But who's behind the money? Joining me now to weigh in on this new operation is CEO and founder of Mason Burrow Strategies, Luke Ball. Luke, thank you so much for joining us. The people who give money to Future Forward can best be described as a who's who of the Democrat elites. The money is pouring in from these mammoth donations from top executives at Alameda Research and Google, for instance. So what does this say about who's really behind our elections and influencing them?
Yeah, the people who aren't giving to Nikki Haley are apparently giving to this political action committee, those who are on the progressive left and the Democrats. They're either bankrolling Joe Biden or they're bankrolling Donald Trump's opponents. And I think that it's interesting to see that this PAC has already come out with the presumption that Donald Trump is the Republican nominee. But also they're attacking Donald Trump by trying to promote Joe Biden. And it's very interesting that they're not really focused right now on highlighting a lot of Joe Biden's accomplishments. And perhaps it's because he doesn't have that many accomplishments. In fact, they're trying to scrape under the rug some of the things that have been going on with his economy and foreign policy. And I think also perhaps one of the ways that they were able to convince donors to contribute to this political action committee was not just to support Joe Biden, but also to try and knock down Donald Trump.
Right, and I can't imagine how difficult it must be to try and prop up a president who has the lowest approval rating in recent history. I mean, this organization also really aims to target these demographics like Black, Hispanic, and younger voters in swing states. Bloomberg and Morning Consult show that Biden is losing in all 7 of these swing states, of course. So can the American voters be bought?
I don't think that they can be bought. I think that they have to look at what's going on with the economic policies that the administration has made over the last few years, because that's one of the main issues. And surprisingly, even among the Democrats, I would say that the border has become a top issue because they're just sick and tired of having law and order being thrown out the window in major cities and also in the small communities. The fact that we have spiking crime in major cities that's percolating into the suburbs starts affecting everybody, no matter what your demographic is. The fact that everybody has to pay higher prices at the gas pump, up 42% on average from when Donald Trump was in office. People are dying overseas at the hands of terrorists who are emboldened because they don't have a strong leader in the White House and we're no longer the leader on the world stage.
You know, Luke, you make a really good point, because when I'm in that press briefing room and they try to convince the American people that the economy is doing great, we're building it from the middle out and the bottom up. But when you deny the American people of their reality, that's going to backfire on them, because they see, like you mentioned, the gas prices, what's happening overseas, the grocery store prices, that they can barely afford to pay rent. This is all going to come back to really bite the Biden administration in 2024. So really, when it comes to these ads, one could really argue that the best way to interfere in an election is to buy it through the media, bombarding people with the same narrative, the same messaging, but suppressing the truth through money and with money. So how do you combat a $250 million ad blitz like this effectively so that this doesn't brainwash voters?
I think it's multifaceted, but number one, you also have to spend against what the Democrats are doing. The Republicans are still wasting resources against one another when we should be coalescing behind one single candidate, Donald Trump, because that is the inevitability of what's happening in the Republican Party. But also you have to combat it with facts. You have to show the American people that the Biden administration might choose to cherry pick some of the numbers, but inflation is up 16.6% since Joe Biden took office. You also have to coalesce behind one candidate in the Republican Party and stop going against one another and wasting resources, because Donald Trump is dealing with court cases from the radical left. We need to fight with facts. Otherwise, if we don't get our house in order, we're not going to be able to go up against Joe Biden in 2024 strong enough.
That's right. I always say the truth always comes out and facts always trump feelings. It'll be very interesting to see how exactly the money will translate with the American people heading into 2024. CEO and founder of Mason Burrow Strategies, Luke Ball, thank you so much for joining us here on One America News.
Thank you.
For all our viewers asking where One America News is heading in the future, we would like to introduce you to OAN Live. OAN Live is the best way to stay up to date on all of the hard-hitting, straight-shooting, national and international headlines. And the best part is, OAN Live is only $4.99 per month. All the credible, honest, unbiased reporting One America News offers at a fraction of the cost of cable. Just go to OANN.com to easily sign up for OAN Live and stay informed.